Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to His Roses Eyes. Hey, sweet friends, welcome to His Grocery Size and welcome to this wonderful episode here on the weekend. It is an episode that we're going to be, an event actually, we're going to leave our worries behind, and that is leave as an L-E-A-F. And this is the event that is going to be, that it is sponsored today by Plaster paints. So today you guys are going to have been enjoying, and thank you for those that are joining, have been enjoying an amazing event here that you guys have been seeing an array of projects, from garlands to wall decors to shelf sitters to painting leaves to painting pumpkins to painting what else, incredible painting, gosh, what was it, the leaf with the pumpkin. I mean, oh gosh, it's been so many that I have enjoyed, and I learned new things. I have learned new things, so I hope that you are enjoying yourself as well. This episode today, this event, I'm just grateful to have chosen to be here, and it is being sponsored by Beth by Crafty Edge, Stephanie by Stephanie's Vintage and Plaster Paint Company, Leanne by Leanne's Crafting Creations, and Kimmery by Be So Creative. And I'm so grateful to each one of them to ask me to be here today. So I'm really excited, and I'm also showing it right here simultaneously. It's going to be streaming right into my YouTube channel. My name is Maureen. My page name is His Grocery Signs. And if I'm new to you, thank you so much for gifting me your time on a Saturday to be here, and as I hopefully inspire you to create on canvas today. So I want to say thank you. Hello, Cheryl, my friend, Lori Henderson. I see Penny. I see Jamie from Road 12 Creations, and Sandy. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to me, let me know. Let me know that I do not take you for granted. So if you're new to me, please let me know. I would love to connect with you and to welcome you into my page should you choose to follow me, which I hope you do. I am... So we're also going to this episode not only is going to be streamed right through my page, but it's also being streamed right into Craft Round the Clock, which is an incredible group of crafters that is going to be bringing you round the clock, whether live or via replay, streaming incredible crafters and creators that are here to inspire you to instead of buying it, DIY it. We're also going to be streamed right into Fat 4 Event Emporium. So you have not joined any one of those pages and groups, I hope you give them a try, and you will not be disappointed. Now, for today and for this weekend, you guys have an incredible what would that be? An incredible gift of 10% shopping. Should you and I encourage you to check out Plaster Paints. And the website is right here in the description below. In all the websites for all of the names that I have just mentioned, you will find them there as well. Also, if you stick around, there's going to be a drawing. We're going to be drawing a name on Facebook only. We're going to be drawing a name for a chance for you to win a $25 gift card to Plaster Paints. Now, this drawing is going to be done at the very end of today's event. After, so very soon after the last presenter, you're going to stick around and the name will be chosen immediately soon after. So let's go ahead and get to work. And I see my friend Denise. I thank you so much, Martha, for being here. Leanne's from Leanne's Crafting. Thank you so much, Creations and Quality Crafts by Kathy. And by the way, guys, all of these names that I'm mentioning, you are so encourage you to go ahead and check them out, and make sure that you're joining me, that you're joining those creators as well. Quality Crafts by Kathy, thank you so much for being here, and Patty Mayer. Carla, thank you, and Barbara. And if I do not, and if I skip your name, because I'm going to start getting busy here. If I skip your name, it's not on purpose. I'm just going to be looking down, and make sure that you let me know. I am all the way in Florida, in Tampa, Florida, we started with a nice weather. I do have to say, we started in a nice weather, kind of like in the 70s, which is nice and cool for us. And however, it has gone up as the day has gone up. So let me know how you are over there. And let's see. All right, so we have the plan for today. We're going to be working on a canvas right on here, and this canvas I have already prepared it. Thank you so much for those that are joining here on YouTube. There's 18 viewers here. Thank you so much. If this is your first time watching, we'd love for you to make sure that you're subscribing, and yeah, we'd like, and give it a thumbs up. It may take you less than 5 seconds, but it will mean the world to me, so I appreciate you. All right, so this canvas, which is a pretty large one right here, I am repurposing it. So what I went ahead and did is that I gave it a nice big coat of plaster, just a kind of stucco painting, spackling that you are going to be putting on your walls. I have a big tub right next to me, and I just gave that to this canvas. Now this is going to allow this canvas to get some texture, but at the same time, you're also creating a nice surface for the painting that is going to go along with this. Not only that, but we're going to do an impasto painting, which is going to be a little bit of that three-dimensional effect on this canvas. Now the event's name is Leave Your Worries Behind, so we're going to be working and bringing in some leaves. So let's go ahead and work on those. And hello Abel, how are you? And Michelle, Michael's Endless Vacations, and Jason's Jack, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you guys are following subscribe before you go, and let others know about this. So I'm going to be using the very last of my DAS air drying clay, which is this one right here. If you have a air drying clay of your preference, be sure to use that. Thank you so much, Kim, thank you so much for being here. And how are you, Jamie from Road 12 Creations, and Lori's? Thank you so much for being new to my page. Welcome, bienvenida, Denise, and new to you. Thank you so much, and for sharing me out as well. Sue Potts, thank you from all the way from Ontario. Sorry, my Spanish tongue gets in my way. I am from Colombia, as in South America. And yes, my first language is Spanish. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get more of a smaller brush with larger bristles. And the reason why, to dust off some with cornstarch on these on these molds or these casts. So what I'm going to do, and the reason why I have so many different ones, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going crazy, but I have picked different types that may have leaves. So every single one of those leaves, you could see there, these are the ones that we're going to be using. So I just went through all of my casts. Hi Mary, how are you, my friend? And I went ahead and picked the ones, so even the tiny ones like this, I went through the ones that have similar leaves, and here's this one that I really like, that one. So some of the leaves that we're attempting to do will be painted, some of them will be done through clay. So let's get to it, shall we? Quality Crabs, thank you so much. Hi to saying hi to Lori. And by the way, guys, all of these wonderful creators that are here on the Facebook side of the page, if you are not following them, be sure to give them a follow. As I said, it doesn't take you much, but it means quite a lot to us. So it means us being able to stick out in this wonderful world of algorithms here on Facebook, on YouTube, or wherever you're watching through. If you're watching today, we're in the month of September. So September the 13th, if you're watching us live, thank you. Make sure that you're leaving. Hi, Cindy, how are you, my friend? From Cindy's Creations. And I'm throwing so many names out there, guys, so many crafters names. And, you know, we're just a wonderful community of people that love to share what we do. We love it so much that we want to share it with the world. Whoever is able to listen to us and pay attention to us, that is who we share it with. That is just the reality. So just because, you know, when you enjoy something, when you just love something, you want to share it. All right, so I'm gonna take my little bit of clay, and I'm going to start putting it right on there. And as I said, I'm using the Daz air drying clay. You may use the one that you are most comfortable um, or love to use. And if you do not have one, I do, you know, this is the one that that I go to the most. After I finish this one, there was a couple ones in my last recent lives that some friends have suggested, so I'm going to go ahead and give those a try. So as I push everything into my mold, into the cast, just pushing in the air dry clay, and I'm going to just leave it there for a second. In a minute, I'm going to finish those, but I'm going to come and start doing all of the different leaves that I have here, patterns. Now, this event is going to be a total of a 1 hour event. So my goal is to be able to provide to you a start to finish product that you're able to recopy or redo. However, if you are interested in purchasing what I am creating, we're working actually right now on our website. My son is helping me with that, but you could also DM me, send me a private message, and I will be able to invoice you should you want exactly the one that I'm working on. So let's see. White's Creative Designs. Hey friend, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. You are going to try the Flex Compound. Thank you for throwing those names out there, you guys. As I said, it's always good to try new ones, you know? That's how we fall in love with things. All right, so I'm gonna try this other one. Now, I wanted to make these ahead of time. However, I also wanted to, you know, the whole idea is to do things right along with you. So it's one of those, like, you know, what do you do? What do you do? Jason, thank you. How are you? And by the way, my page name on YouTube is His Girls Designs. On Facebook, I am His Girls Designs Official. And that is the reason is just like Cindy's Create with Cindy's Creations, my page was also hacked probably a couple of years ago, so I have to restart a new one from scratch. So welcome to the world of the not so nice people. All right, so I'm removing with a little spatula. I'm just going around and removing the excess, anything that is kind of going above the molding, just so that we want a flat surface once we are going to be attaching it to the canvas. And one of the kind of glues that I like also to attach them to the canvas once we're ready to do that step is I like to use wood glue. Now, depending on what brand of wood glue you like, that will be your go-to. All right, so I'm removing and just pushing in. That is very tough. You're right. That is very tough when you get your page taken away, you know, but everything happens for a reason. So the Lord knows there's always a purpose, right? So it is very hard and it's devastating. But we keep on moving. We keep on moving forward. That's all we could do. All right, so I see that as I remove this one, some of my smaller leaves went with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, one of the things that I like to do with my air dry clay, I like to get, and if you saw it, it was kind of on there, a wet paper towel, just damping it a little bit, not soaking. And as you put your air dry clay away, you kind of just throw that in there, especially if you are able to use your air dry clay regularly. If you're one of those that are just gonna forget about it, that paper might get a little moldy, so just be aware of that. So if you use air dry clay on a regular basis, do that. If not, just to kind of help it stay longer. If not, a very airtight container will be helping you. All right, so I think this one might just is having a hard time kind of sticking in there. Okay, now let me go ahead and start getting those out and let's get painting. Ready? Here we go. So I'm going to start with the biggest one here. And these, I'm going to put them on a separate surface because we're not going to use these right away. So I have here a mat that is on a silicone mat, and I'm going to leave them there kind of drying with the fan that's next to me in case you're hearing a little humming noise. And I'm going to peel these back. Now, as I'm peeling this back, I'm forcing the mold to kind of drop them and letting kind of like, you know, the gravity do its thing. Now, some of these are very delicate. They do have a little tiny stem, so I want those. Now, this one kind of broke. It's fine as I'm spooling it, and it's fine just because as I put them on my canvas, I may be able to reposition them, so I'm okay with that. Let the magic happen. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. Here we go. This needs to dry a little bit so that way we could get moving. Now, in addition to this, want to give you another way, because you're probably saying, well, that's nice. You have all of these kind of, you know, you're a crafter, you have all of these things at hand, you know, but I don't have all of that, and I'm not about to go purchase all these things. How else can I do it? Well, I guess I will not be able to do it. No, you can. Let me just show you yet another way that you may be able to create your leaves. So that you could be able to take part on creating something beautiful for your home. So I'm going to, give me 1 second. This one is a little, oof. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you, and here it is, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and get my little roller here. Just a little kitchen roller will do. I actually purchased that one at Home Goods. It's just a thin one here. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a little tiny bit of clay, and I'm going to roll it. Just want to make it, turn it into a ball. I'm going to roll it. And because I'm working on a silicone mat here, it's not sticking to the surface. If you're don't have a silicone mat, if you have kind of like a plastic plastic bag that you may want to open, so on, or put a little bit of bench flour, which is your cornstarch, on your surface, and it will not stick. Now here I have a couple of leaves. You could take regular leaves from the outside. You could take these are silk leaves, and I'm going to go ahead and put them down. I might be able to squeeze a few more here, so let me see if I could get a couple more here. So just kind of want to be able to see how could I squeeze those. Might be able to get one more. Okay, so I was able to get 4. I'm going to just roll this, making sure that I press down on every single one. And the reason why I'm just pressing is so that way I could get the indentation of, or the markings of my leaves. You could do this with both regular, you know, the God-given leaves, or the ones that you may have fake ones. All right, so now that I see my leaves on here, I'm gonna go ahead and take my little knife. And I have just a regular butter knife will do. Anything that you kind of have that may be able to, for you to cut with. I was trying to look for my little X-Acto knife. I know I do have it somewhere with my tools. 1 second. 1 second. All right, the X-Acto knife will have to do because I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Little X-Acto knife will do. It's the easiest. And I'm going to come and do the markings, follow the lines when I was pressing them. And these are the leaves that I'm also going to have those available. So you could pick big ones, little ones. And that is one way for you to not have any excuse to do a project like this. Now, go ahead and leave your leaves behind. Pond. and we're gonna let those there. And what I'm going to do is that I don't want them to dry up flat. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a little bit of leave them. Do you see that? I'm going to just kind of turn them, give them a little wave. Thank you, Denise. You found that to be a great tip. So I'm going to just peel them up a little bit and kind of let them look natural. That's what I'm trying to do. Just make them look a little natural. Give them a little bit of a movement and like a wave. Now you could do as many as you may want here. So now you know we have a total of several leaves. This ones look very natural. So maybe you could skip the casts or the moldings and go for the natural ones. That's one way to do it. Or, you know, you could have back and forth different ones. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a little drawer here, and I'm going to let them just lay there as we work on the rest. All right. So I'm going to put this away. Got to make sure that this is closed before I put it away. Remember, this has already a little damp paper. Teresa, how are you? Thank you so much. Carolyn, Ruth, thank you. And Gail, how are you, friend? If you're not following me, I really appreciate it if you do. I like to create things that are just very budget friendly, always without, gosh, my hair, because I have the fan blowing next to me. I have always with kind of like a more of a neutral style, more kind of like with an elegant hint. So, and I'm over here in Tampa, Florida. So yeah, so I am in a place where you guys like to come vacation. Oh, Aya, how are you? Thank you for being here. And Aja. All right, so we're good. We're good. Let's move on. All right. Canvas time. Here we come. All right, so now this is almost all completely done. So what the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to start giving it working from the bottom, from the base up. So in other words, the things that you're going to see further away are the things that you're going to start working with first. So I'm going to get a little bit of I guess a little palette, something for me to start working on. And gosh, I washed it. Did I wash it and not bring it? Oh no, I did bring it up. I'm wrong. Hold on. So I like having a little piece of glass. Is what I have, is what I use. And I'm going to put just a little bit of paint. Now I'm going to be using acrylic paints, and this one is an English Ivy Green. I also have a little bit of the burnt amber. This is just a deep brown. So use what you have. This is what I have. And I'm also going to use some blue. This is ocean blue. And it looks like my ocean blue is deep in the ocean. So I'm going to go ahead and pick something else. I'm going to toss that. And yeah, my ocean blue decided to go deep in the ocean. I think my blues are coming to an end. I use them quite regularly. So, all right. So I got my paints. So now what? Oh, goodness. This one is two. Time to replenish. All right. This one I don't like to use. For some reason, my blues from Apple Barrel, they really kind of get watery. All of them. So I'm just going to put drops just to be safe. All right. So I did big brushes. So we're going to start, and what I'm going to do right on here, you guys, let me show you. I have, here we go. Just gonna dip it in all of my paints, all of them, all at once. And I'm going to start going and start painting. As my brush kind of goes back and forth and it starts depositing what the paint that I have on here into my canvas, you will see it. Now this is an old beat up painting brush. Okay. Thank you, Gail, for sprinkling out and for joining the page. You are a blessing. Okay, so I have some plaster. I have still showing. Now I'm going to focus, I'm going to concentrate more on the deeper colors on my corners. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and get some more paint on here. So now that I kind of sprinkled out some of the paints on every side, I'm going to give each corner like a different kind of coloring. Okay, so this one that's closest to me seems to be a little bit more brownish. So I'm going to go ahead and deposit more brown, spread more brown on this edge, on this corner. Going to focus especially on my corners. And I'm okay leaving some of the white plaster exposed. Thank you for those that are joining on YouTube. If you are the first time here, if you're not following me, I so appreciate you. Just give it a follow before you head out. I'm going to now start getting some of the greens on the opposite, on this opposite end next to it, adjacent to it. And this is the English ivy. Now, as you could see, these are nice warm colors, kind of like deeper fall colors. But these background colors, you could do them for every occasion or for every kind of your thing. By the way, did I tell you that this event is being sponsored by Plaster Paints? If I have not told you, or you have not heard it yet, yes, it is. Did I tell you that you are able to purchase at the website, which in the description below, you're going to find the website link, and you are able to get 10% on their paint. I have not used their paints. I have not had the pleasure to do that. But I hear everybody bragging about the metallic colors. So I'm kind of curious now. You know, curiosity killed a cat kind of thing. So that's what they say. So I'm like kind of curious and maybe in getting myself over there over the weekend and with an extra 10%. Thank you. All right. And if you're not part of the Fat 4 event Imperium, then go ahead and join. I'm putting the blue, by the way, and this one, the Admiral Blue, on the top. So this is what I have thus far. And you're probably saying, what a big old mess. Things always look worse before they start looking best. Now, I'm going to come and get a little bit more because I want more of the blue kind of on the top. And this is obviously because we're creating more of a sky. So I'm going to get my smaller brush. And I'm going to, it's going to be darker in the edges, lighter in the middle. There we go. You love watching the process. Isn't that, you know, I tell you, I do too. I love seeing the ends, of course, the end product of everything. But, you know, it's that process. That's what brings meaning to a painting, right? All right, so now it looks like it's an old kind of canvas. Not gonna mess up with that because you want things to not look too much mixed in. You kind of want your colors to be exposed. Okay. All right, so now the next step that I'm going to do, I'm gonna go ahead and get, and this one is, the color name is Cottage White. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this one in the middle here. Just start, let me see, actually do it on the side in case something goes wrong. But instead of using now my brush, I want to go ahead and mix it with, or spread it actually, with a little spatula. Because we're going more for the texture. Hope you guys are able to see this. Can you see this whole process? I want you just make sure you guys can see this. I'm just dragging my spatula. Hope you guys are loving this. It's one of those that, you know, you just kind of have to quiet your mouth and enjoy it. Okay. Now the last thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to add a little bit of this gold paint. And yes, it's going to be a little bit. Don't worry. I do love my gold paint. And I am using some gold treasure, what is it? Full card treasure gold. So I am going to add that. And I'm going to take the same spatula and I'm going to drag it. Same spatula, same process. I'm going to come here, especially on my edges. Especially on these edges that I'm going to be dragging this golden paint. Now, that was pretty nice. But now we're going to add yet another color, just another kind of gold. And I always have the hardest time opening it. This one is called leaf gold. Going to take my spatula once again. And at first, this gives you kind of like a little bit of kind of like a copper color. So it's going to kind of bring kind of like a different tone. It's going to bring and draw some of the reds into this canvas. Okay. So once you kind of feel that you have, hey, I think I see every color here. Now we're ready. This is what I have. Just want to make sure you guys can see it well. All right, so now what we're going to be doing is our leaf. Okay. For our leaf, we're going to start doing and working on creating kind of like a branch. It's as if a branch will be falling off of there. But you know what? I think now that I see it, I'm going to smooth it out just for the track. Just where my branch is going to start. Just so that we could be able to see those. Okay, just kind of want to see that branch a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of look as if it was you're looking at your background from a distance. Okay. So my branch is going to fall from up here. So now the rest of the colors will stay the same. Okay. Can you see where I kind of prepped a little bit where the design is going to go? All right, so now with my brown, my spatula, my brown, and we're going to be adding some plaster. Remember, the object of this is more of to go on the kind of like impasto kind of painting. So it's going to be kind of like a three-dimensional painting. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my plaster. Okay. It's a big bucket of just spackling that you get. I got it at Lowe's, I believe I did. I think this is what I'm using. So I'm gonna mix this with my brown. Let me show you that. There it is. And we will be mixing or adding those leaves. You know, this is the kind of projects that sometimes I wonder if I should just do them, because they do take long. They do take some time to create. So here we go. Now to this, and whenever I'm adding plaster to a canvas, I always like to add like a little bit of Mod Podge. And I know it shrinks your paint a little bit, the plaster, but it's also going to help it to adhere. So I'm going to get some kind of like a chocolate fudge kind of color. And I'm sorry for those that I'm just, all of the comments that I'm just not missing. You intrigued, says Denise. Okay, so I got kind of like a little fudgy kind of, might be a little lighter, kind of like a milk chocolate kind of coloring. I'm gonna take my spatula, but I'm wanting something thinner. Just give me 1 second, and I'll pick a thinner one. Here's how thin I'm gonna go. And hold on a second. I kind of pushed this away until now I can see your comments. So hold on. Turned it off and I did not mean to. All right, so what I'm going to do, I see, thank you. Oh, thank you, Carol. How are you? Happy Saturday. I was watching you earlier. And so I'm going to go and start over here. I'm going to work backwards. So backwards to me, the right place for you. So it's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and start dropping my brush, my branch. Right on there. Remember, we're going to go for like a three-dimensional. So we're going to get our branch. Now I just love the fact that we're using this spatula, because that way is going to help us to kind of create a little bit of that texture in a branch. So I don't want to leave kind of like a trail behind. I want to leave kind of like a, you know, nice bushy one or thick one. Carolyn, thank you. She's saying this is interesting. Now remember, we did add a little bit of glue here. And so that way, now I'm going to, so that way you could adhere. I'm going to go ahead and come to one side. And I'm going to create one branch over here. Now I'm going to come and start coming lower. And I'm going to bring my other branch. Kind of dropped a lot. Hold on a second. I kind of wanted it to be thinner, because, you know, branches usually thin out as they go. Give me 1 second, you guys. That was a bit too much that dropped. By the way, you could also find the pictures of my work on Instagram. Not sure if you're an Instagram person, but I am also there. And on Pinterest. All right, so now I'm gonna do tiny little ones in just a minute, but I think we're gonna start doing what we need to do. Now this this branch will also be getting some highlights, lowlights, but I think I need to get myself a little thinner tool. So what do you think so far? We're dropping a branch, and I'm sorry that it takes so long to get to this place, to this little stage. I'm going to use the same spatula, but I'm going to just focus on the tip now. Just kind of get a cleaner one so that I could come and just do my tip. And now I think I need to also bring, at this point, a brush, just because it's going to help me with the smaller kind of brushes where they need to go. Here we go. I think that worked. You know, it's kind of what a process it is many times to pick for an event. And you know, it's like, oh gosh, what do I make? So many things pop into your head. And can I tell you, one of the things that I thought that I probably just do, I was going to bring in some, I was going to do kind of like a plaster leaf to do kind of like a candle holder. I thought of doing napkin rings. I mean, it's just out of, you know, leaves. So it's just a lot of different things that kind of go through your head as you kind of prepared for an event, you know, because, you know, you want to make a good impression, and many of you that I have not seen before. So, you know, it's one of those that, so I hope that you get to see kind of like my vision. Sometimes that one is kind of hard to get across. All right, so now, just because we have about 15 minutes, so we drop the leaf, our branch, and by the way, at whatever point we need to, what can I say, retouch the colors on the end. Let's just say, hey, after I added the leaves that look a little bit too much, and you know, I could see a point that I should have blended a little bit more. But we could always remember, this is paint, it's acrylic paint, water-based paint, and this is plaster. We could go ahead and spray it a little bit with a little bit of water, and get your paint and get your brush and kind of smooth things out. So just think about it. Don't ever think that just because you put paint on a canvas, that's the end of it. Don't ever do say that. This is not oil painting, so don't worry about it. And even if it was oil painting, you could get some gesso and you could put right over it. So, but don't ever think that there's always a solution. So if in case I see that, oh, this is just taking away, the backdrop may be taking away a little bit too much from the tree, no worries. We could go ahead and spray, you know, get a little bit of misting, you know, smooth it out. And right away, it's going to start taking the shape that you want it to take. So just little tips out there. All right, so now I'm going to let this, I'm letting this kind of a little bit drying out a little bit, and we're going to help it. So like Jamie says, 3, 2, 1. I should have said 3, 2, 1 faster. Jamie from Roach Paul, she kind of gives a little bit of a heads up. I didn't. Cheryl knows you will have a little gold. My friend Boo, how are you? All right, so this branch, now that I'm starting to see, I kind of want it, I think I want it a little bit thicker on this taller side. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to thicken this one just on this side, just because it should, as a branch should. There we go. So, I mean, that is the beauty of this thing, that you could just add to it, take away. I tell you, I have fallen in love with painting. I was not a painter. It's not into paintings before. I just really falling in love with it. Anyways, so now, do you all remember the leaves that we added? Yeah, that's where we're going next. Teresa, I'm glad you found those tips useful. Now, these branches, or this branch will be getting some type of different shadings. However, it's going to take a little tiny bit. It needs to dry up at least the surface, the top part, because it's plaster. So it needs to, at least the top part, to kind of create a crust at first, so that I could be able to touch it. Because if I'm going to be adding more paint to it, it's going to be more moisture. It's just going to be kind of like a blob. So I'm just air drying it just a little tiny bit, just so that it could create kind of like a crust on the top. So that way you could go ahead and do your highlights, your lowlights, get your darker colors. That's for the lowlights. Get your highlights. You want to make sure that you see, where's your light coming from? Where's your source of light? So if you want my light coming, I don't know, there's lighter green over here, or there's blue over here. You want my light to be coming from here, then I need to make sure that I follow. My highlights will be following, or they're all coming on this side, on what will be my my left side, or however you see it on your side. So it's going to be coming all from here. So this side is going to be lighter, this side will be darker. So think about it as you're creating it, so that way then you could see, you know, that this is your source of light. And at some point, if I want this to be my source of light, I should make it perhaps a little tiny bit lighter, so that way it kind of tells you right away which way it's going. But before we continue, we're going to be getting our wood glue. And I'm going to be bringing one leaf at a time. Now these leaves are going to still be wet. Do not use hot glue. It's not going to do a thing. So now I'm going to start bringing these. Now remember that these are the impasto kind of part of our project. I did leave my, I left my edges kind of raw. What I should have done is perhaps to kind of get a wet sponge and just smooth them out. Just kind of working here with the time that I have. So notice, right away I'm noticing that these leaves, I'm really, oh, did I just paint myself? I sure did, didn't I? I just, and I'll get, here we go. I just noticed that I went ahead and I liking these leaves, but we're going to add the other leaves, the ones where we did with the cast. I'm just looking at myself here, because I think I added somehow a lot of paint onto my face. These leaves will be painted. They're not going to be left raw. Just trying to see more on the, see how nice they are once you add it and you have movement. It's wonderful. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make some more of these bigger ones. Love these. Love, it just becomes, it's more substantial. I like the same sizing. So, but I'm still gonna go ahead and use these for the smaller branches. These are 2 in 1, kind of like 2 in a pot. By the way, in a few minutes, I'm gonna make sure that I pick someone to be part of the $25 gift card giveaway. So stick around. If you're stuck for the longest, now stick to the shorter part. Let's see. I love the fact that the cast gives me the kind of like the illusion that there's some leaves that are kind of folded. See that? So love that. So it's basically the idea that I had in my head is to be able to perhaps have a little bit of full branch kind of hanging. That's what I was imagining. I'm putting some of the smaller ones, but in reality, I'll be honest, I'm really liking a lot the, oh, this one doesn't look good there. I'm really liking a lot the fact of the bigger, larger leaves. This one looks like a little twig. So I'm gonna put it here hanging there, like at the end. And all of these will be painted, you all. Will be painted. And if you know me in any sort of way, have been through any of my lives, you probably will have a hint of what color I'm going to be using. Anybody wants to give that away? How cute. I'm loving the really tiny small leaves. They are just adorable. All right, so I'm going to stop here because I'm looking at my watch. I want to make sure that you guys kind of see a little bit of the smaller details. And I will be adding to this, you guys. Remember, at whatever point, this is water based. So at whatever point, we're going to be just adding water, make sure, and kind of bring your painting back to life and to my canvas. So look at these leaves. Do you see that there? So now, here we go. If you know me, you know what's coming. So I'm gonna use my gold leaf color. I'm gonna get my small brush. Now, somebody was saying, you know, ready for the beauty, but ready for the change, ready for the action. Let me find my right brush and I'll bring it to you. It's too big. All right, here we go. Hello, my friend Carlene. How are you, sweetheart? All right, so I'm going to pour a little bit of paint on my cap. Let's see. You all, we haven't even touched the branches, but I want you to make sure that you guys see what beautiful, how this turns right away. You love the mixture leaves? Yes, I do too. I do too. So my YouTube friends, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Hi B, my friend B is on YouTube. Now, once these leaves dry, I will add a little bit of wax. Just kind of hint them here and there. But you all, look at this. See how all of a sudden these leaves will pop? And they will become the star of the show. They will become the star of the show. As the event name, this event's name, leave your worries behind, right? I want to make sure. Yes, leave your worries behind. I want to thank my friend Kimmery, who actually she contacted me. I don't do a lot of events, you all. I work quite a lot throughout the week. In my weekends, I really do try and I strive to keep it for my family. So I don't do a lot of events. So the fact that I'm here today is it's honestly because Miss Kimmery was the one who sought me out and sent me the message. And I want to thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to thank you, Kimmery, for and the Fab for event Imperium for allowing me to be here. I know there's a lot of you that I may be a brand new face. So thank you so much. There were some new creators that I actually had to follow because I was not following them yet. So I want to thank you so much for the opportunity. Our friend Beth, our friend Stephanie, our friend Leanne, thank you so much for being part of the group and And now we're gonna see, we have about, what, 5 minutes. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna make sure that we pick out the name. But before you do and before you leave, let me know, is this something different? I do like different things. Is this something that interests you? Is this something that kind of make you kind of like, huh, I should not leave the kind of pain behind? I think give Plaster a chance. Give more cast, you know, kind of like, you know, air dry clay a chance, and just be creative with it. Now remember, we still have not touched the branches. We still got to do that. Kind of smooth out a little bit of my backdrop. But you know, in this kind of project, this will be available for sale should you want it once it's finished. But this is more or less what you want. I see that my backdrop is just a little bit too loud from what I've been wanting for this, so I want to make sure that I tone it down just so that my leaves and my branch will pop. So that's the whole idea. The gold that I'm using is called gold leaf, by the way, in case it's called a liquid leaf, actually liquid leaf, and it's a classic gold. So this is the ones that I'm using, classic leaf in liquid gold. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. It's turning out gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, by Quality Crafts by Kathy. You love painting too, Carol. Yes. So soothing. You know, if you guys want something that is just going to, you're going to spend your like time, go just kind of like throw your watch, your clock away, and just, it's like one of those very soothing. I love listening. I love listening to sermons. I love listening to teachings. I love, you know, putting praise and worship music, and just let it be. It's kind of like my time. So anyways, enough chit chatting. Pretty soon you guys are going to be loving the next presenter, which I do not have. I did not, that's the one thing I did not write down. Should have. But anyways, you will love the next presenter because they're all fabulous. And I'm just really grateful that I was able to be here with you guys today. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna come back to my tablet here. I'm going to, I keep turning off on me, I don't know why. And I'm going to get my my names. So let me see. This one doesn't want to scroll, I guess because I just turned it on. Okay, let me go back over here. And just the one. How about we go a little further back? Let's see. How about my friend Teresa Goodliff? Teresa Goodliff. Teresa Goodliff. I'm gonna write it down and want to make sure that she is here. If I could find my pencil, that'd be great. Teresa Goodliff. Teresa Goodliff. If you are here, please let us know. Teresa Goodliff. And that is with double F. And I'm going to pick a second name just in case she's not here, but I'll keep on doing. How about Carla Duncan, even in case she doesn't answer? So let me go back to my comments. Teresa, are you here? Oh, Teresa is here. Teresa, congratulations. Your name will be added, my friend. Teresa Goodliff, your name will be added to the $25 drawing that is going to be happening at the very end of the episode, right after the last presenter today. So Miss Kimmery is going to come. She's going to be going live, and she's going to take all these names and make the drawing for the $25 gift card. By the way, I'm going to keep on working on this. The entire video is going to be on my YouTube page. Whenever you get a chance, go there. You're gonna see the start to finish, and not only that, but it will be, you kind of like skip around it and get to the best part, whatever you want to do. Had a great time being with you today. May God bless you. May God keep you. Make his face shine upon you. May God grant you his peace. And thank you for all of those new friends that have decided to join my page. I really appreciate you, and God bless. Adios. All right, guys. Now I'm here on YouTube. Let me finish over here. Done. All right. We're continuing over here, and we will. Okay. Now, here it is. I know YouTube, you guys get a little bit of less of my time as I have Facebook on. But let me tell you, this is going to be gorgeous. Let me fix your, so you guys can see. All right. But I see the names, the words kind of really small, so forgive me if I don't get to your wordings. Hi, friend. All right, so if I don't see your messages, and that is because it just becomes really, really tiny. That's all. And after 40, my vision just, it's not the same. You know, eyes not. Something happens to your vision that is like, it's like they were watching when you blew those candles, you know, your 40th candles, and like from there on, they will never be the same. I don't know why. You know, I had great vision my entire life. I never wore glasses in my entire life. And then I turned 40, and it's like, ta 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 ta. I'm like, my X-ray vision is gone. You know, kind of makes you think, did Superman go through this? Right? Did he age? Sorry, you could tell that I do watch. I have teenagers, you guys. I have young adults, really young adults in my house, and they're all about the Avengers, and they're all about, you know, Justice League, and, you know, and DC and all of that. So, all right, let's go ahead and work. I'll be completely honest, you guys. I think the backdrop is way too loud. I think I was really I got carried away. Be completely honest, I got carried away. Sometimes when you're working on a backdrop, you get carried away because it's fun. It's fun. But yeah, so I got carried away. So now I have to tone it down. I really do. Otherwise, all of this work with the leaves and the branches will not, you know, will not do its justice. I also would love to create more leaves. I want to make it leafy, like a leafy branch. So that's another thing that we got to do. So I'm not gonna make this super long, but I do want to see, want you to see. Ready? I do want you to see how it is that we could do this. Remember, I was telling you we could do this because these colors are all water based. Now I could add a little bit more. I don't want to add white. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I add a little bit, a hint of kind of like a golden yellow. Just a little hint of a golden yellow. Just because if I want to, remember that I was mentioning that I want this side to be kind of like my, my source of light. This is kind of like a mustard yellow color, which is great. I don't use it often. But I'm going to make this my source of light on this side. So I'm going to add a little bit of water here to this surface, and it's going to make my brush, my paint, just be a little bit more. See how it goes? Look at that. Hope you guys can see this. And that still is a little bit too bright for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of water and continue just spreading it out. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna touch it over here in the green, and the green and the yellow is going to mix in. It's gonna light up my green. And then this is just regular H2O. Look at that. You all see that? See that? I think this is what I'm looking for, you all. This is it. See that? This is what I'm looking for, you guys. See? Be careful not to add water to your branch, because it's made of plaster. Guys, I still gotta go make dinner. But the Yankee game is going, so I think my boys, which are the ones that are usually hungry, they're kind of watching the Yankee game. Look at that, you guys. I am liking this. See that? You see how that smooths it out? It's gotta be careful here in the middle. Probably just use another brush. But all I'm going to do is just smooth it out. I like that now. And if I need to add any other color, if I need to smooth it out, add a little bit of white, add a little bit of taupe. And to mute the color, you're gonna add some taupe. To make your color a little more pastel color, you're gonna add your white. And there you go. I will smooth this out even more, but I wanted you to get a chance to see that being smoothed out, smoothed out through what I was telling you to add your water. Okay, so there it is. You see that? It's just all of a sudden now this is going to take more life. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do was to do the highlights. And with that, I want to, with this, once I add my highlights, with that, I'm going to end. So, so I'm going to bring this. I want to have my bucket underneath just to start adding the highlights. And I'm going to be adding that little bit of, where's my water? That little bit of that mustard yellow color. And we're also going to add some white. And we're also going to add black. So I'm going to do mustard yellow kind of all in the middle. You see that? I want to make sure you guys can see that well. So this is how it's going to allow you to see the shadows, the highlights. You could always, if you got a little bit too much, come back to your brown, come back to your base color. Here we go. Now, at some point, this is also going to get some hints of white, and that is where the light hits it the most. And some black on the opposite end. Now the light's gonna switch here. All right, hope you're liking that. Gonna go ahead and get my little hint of white, and then gonna go ahead and get a finer brush, really fine. And that is because we're going to just hit it little tiny hints. Let me just find the right brush here, and then I'll get back to you. Those brushes are usually smallest, yeah, shorter, so they go in. There we go. I see them now. Okay, here's one, and I'm gonna get the black, the one for the black. Okay, so this was gonna be my white, and this is where the light is going to hit it the most. So this is how we're going to create from through two-dimensional to a three-dimensional shape. See that? It's been a long life, a long time here. So I appreciate if you have at any point stopped by. Thank you, my friend. But at any point you have stopped by to see the process, hope you have enjoyed what you've seen. I'm really excited to finally start been working on my website, you guys. Going back to my yellow. And I'm going to try to somehow blend it just slightly, just so it's that way, you know how you do with makeup, so that way you're not just having two separate colors, but everything needs to be blended in. It's the same as kind of like doing makeup. That's why I like it. I didn't do any white on here. This is going to need the little tiny twigs. Once this dries, we'll go ahead and paint the tiniest little amount of twigs. All right, now let's go back to the black. I did get my brush out. I'm going to come back to my black. And the black is going to go right underneath. Right here. Just tiny little hints. And this is what's going to give this shadings. I think besides black, we could add a little bit of that green. Remember that ivy green? I think that would be a good color to add as well. But look at that. See that branch? You see that there? You have your contouring, your lowlights, your base color, your highlights. So that is what we're looking for, you all. That's what we're looking for. Hope you guys get your brushes out. Get yourself. Go ahead and believe. Give yourself a little bit of time to create, you guys. It's one way to bring your stress down. Stress level down. All right. Get creating. There's one way, honestly. Get those away. All right, I'm going to continue here, but I don't want to make this live, being super long. But now you saw. So I'm going to go ahead and continue smoothing out my colors, especially here in the middle. I'm going to smooth those out and continue painting my leaves and making perhaps a few more leaves to add to this, because I love those. I love these kind of leaves. I'm not sure which are your favorites, but I love this kind of leaves. Are those your favorites? Let me know. Or did you like these the most? The ones that I did with the cast. Look at that. I mean, they're just beautiful. And I see that my backdrop kind of like taking away a little bit of the detailing of the leaves. So that's why I'm going to fix that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I did. I enjoyed the time. I love creating these things. May God bless you. Oh, I had a little bit of. May God bless you guys. May God keep you. If you are interested in purchasing, my website is going to be coming hopefully soon. But also DM me. Would love to not have every wall in my house being taken over. you know. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And if you subscribe, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed by you being. I don't take you for granted. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. If you're watching me on Saturday, if you're watching me another day, well, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one, you guys. God bless. Adios.